About to be live. And welcome on in, everybody. It is a beautiful day here in the Hello Plaza Mall. And today we are here with the grand opening of Mac Leadership Solutions, LLC. And we have the amazing Miss Merlin Clark with us today. We're so excited to have Miss Merlin with us. Miss Merlin is a certified behavioral analyst. She is a certified Maxwell leadership coach. She is a distinguished Toastmaster. She's also Area 52 Toastmastering Director. In addition, she's a member of the Greater Baltimore Chamber of Commerce. She's a member of the Toastmasters International, a member of Chief Learning Officer, and lastly, a member of Professional Speakers, Trainers, and Coaches. Miss Merlin is a small business leadership consultant, the founder and CEO of Mac Leadership Solutions, LLC. She carries 30 plus years of experience with helping businesses grow by developing employees in a fun leadership environment. As a certified trainer, coach, and speaker of Maxwell Leadership, she helps businesses add value to their employees and improve the performance and productivity. We are so excited to have you here today, Miss Merlin. Thank you so much. Welcome on in. So if
Thank you, Tara.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you would love to share with the people a little bit more about anything that I did not cover, we would love for you to do that.
Thank you, Tara, for that amazing introduction. You covered quite a bit. Yes, I have more than 30 years experience as a corporate trainer, and I help others grow. I am a lifelong learner because in order to help others grow, you must embrace learning. I embrace failure because failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. And it is just so amazing because, they say when you love what you do, when you are passionate about what you do, you are not working. Well, Tara, I am not working because I love to help people. I love to help people get unstuck and to help them transition to a growth mindset where they can live their full potential, unleash their full potential that they were placed on this planet Earth to do. And that's basically who I am.
I love that, Miss Merlin. So thank you so much. I love that condiment analogy as well. That's great. Thank you so much for being here. It is a joy to have you. We just want to welcome everybody in and furthermore, thank you for jumping into the Metaverse experience and really bringing your business into the AR, VR side of things and being able to offer your customers and clients a different experience. And so today it is a beautiful day, and I'll pass this mic over to Mr. Jones so we can get this party started.
Absolutely. Miss Merlin, that's absolutely thoughtful of you to come up with all these great solutions for people, especially for small to medium-sized entrepreneurs and things of that sort. So the question that everybody asks, right? What made you say, you know what, Mac Leadership Solutions, that's me, that's what I'm going to do? What's the story behind the name?
The story behind the name, MAC, M is for Merlin, A is for middle name, and C is for my last name, Clark. Merlin A. Clark. And that's where I got the MAC. And because I specialize in leadership coaching, I call it leadership solutions because I help people solve their problems. I help business owners solve their leadership problems. I help individuals solve their life problems, such as relationships, their financial problems. Because believe it or not, so many amazing people, they are good income earners, but they can't tell you where their money is going. So I help people with life coaching, and I help them to keep track of where your money is going because quite frankly, your money goes only where you send it. And that is the story behind that name.
I love it.
Awesome. I love it.
I love the Mac. It's short, sweet, simple, and when we were working on your business, I knew it stood for your initials, but I just love how that came together because it just brings a form of leadership with itself, as in the name. So, why do you focus on employee development for business growth, and how do you do that?
Okay, why do I focus on that? Having worked in corporate America for more than 30 years, I have seen where so many employees get stuck. I see where so many employees get frustrated, myself included, when they're not being led, they are being managed. And there's a difference because too many people use the terms leadership and management interchangeably, and they're not. Leadership is about people. It's about influencing people to move them forward to take massive actions for growth, whether for themselves or for your organization. Managing, you're managing processes, and that's the difference right there. And when employees are being managed as opposed to being led, they get frustrated. I see in organizations where they promote someone from a team and make them a manager, and they refer to them as a leadership. And the disservice is that they have not given that emerging leader the proper training to equip them to be a leader. And what that does is frustrate that new leader and frustrate the team members because the team members are not being led, they're being managed. The new leader doesn't know how to lead. I see a big problem with how they communicate with their subordinates. So it is important for business owners and senior leaders to equip their employees and give them the training that they need. Before you promote someone to a leadership position, you need to train them to be leaders. There's no such thing as leaders are born. No, you develop people into being effective leaders where they're
Mhm.
compassionate, they're empathetic, they have strong emotional intelligence, where they can lead their team and not manage them. And the employees, when they are being led, when they have leaders who provide an opportunity for them to grow, when they make a mistake, those employees will unlock their creativity and be more productive, become higher performers. And that, my friend, improves productivity and revenue for their companies. But they have to get on board and change the mindset that the team members need to be trained to be highly effective.
I'm so
I love
glad that you jumped in on and shared that in the sense of the difference between management and leadership. And I'll just say that you are 100 million 10% spot on. I've experienced myself in corporate America, where there has been management that has been called leadership, that has been where it is the management of processes and not people, and that, as you shared, has drove people away from that company instead of actually keeping people within their placements. And that is such a huge differential. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, and one other thing that I'll add on is that especially when you talked about how to communicate, now looking back at my C-level days of being a vice president and how I did talk to people, I wish I would know some of the things that you teach and some of the things that you shared with us, and that people should definitely take advantage of your courses and your membership of how they can be better at communicating. And we say that especially as we utilize this AI. I was just sharing with people earlier that as we implement more AI, we're starting to learn how we don't communicate effectively. And this is where we're all going to be able to up our game of being able to communicate more effectively and know other people know what we're saying, because a lot of the times we're accustomed to our internal thoughts and we know what we're saying, but the other person doesn't know what we're saying, especially when it comes down to, doing the job or talking to other people and just the daily tasks. So one of the things that I think you touched on a little bit, but I know you got some more. What are some common myths that most leaders, run into? Just like you said, leaders aren't born, they're developed. What are some other myths that you could share with us that people are unaware of?
The thing that when I approach some business owners about training their employees, some of them say, well, I don't really have that in my budget to train them. It's costly to train them. And my next question is, what will it cost you if you keep them and don't provide the training that they need? What will it cost your organization if you don't provide them? And how will they feel? Do you think they will feel valued if you're not interested in investing in them? So it's about valuing your people. Show them that you care about them, and you open an opportunity for them to learn and grow. Personal growth is important, and you need to make that investment because you cannot grow professionally if you are not growing personally. And that's a myth right there.
That's a mouthful right there of you can't, grow professionally if you're not growing personally. That's something David and I discovered, 8 years ago when we started our entrepreneurial journey. And to be very frank, boy, the person I was 10 years ago is nowhere close to who I am now because of the personal growth the action I took that evolved over into not only corporate America when I was there, but also within the entrepreneurial side of things. And so it, a lot of times I think we miss that and think that we can, we can separate and compartmentalize things differently, like, personal from professional. And as David shares with us, and as you just shared, as you do one thing, you do all things kind of, if you're not growing personally, you're not going to be growing professionally at all. And so,
Correct.
you know,
Correct.
in the 30 plus years that you have been doing your work and the experience that you've had, some of those were within, your own business and some of those were within other companies. Can you share any standout success stories that you had by being able to help people develop leadership skills and really kind of turn that corner out of the management side into the leadership side?
Yes, absolutely. Because as I said, leaders are not born. And it's about helping people squash limiting beliefs to believe in yourself. Because here is the thing. Many employees, many people have excellent technical skills that they bring to the workplace. But what I do is work with people to change their attitude, teach them how to build better relationships. Because to be successful, you must be able to have healthy relationships with yourself. You must have a healthy relationship with yourself, knowing who you are, and before you can have healthy relationship with others. See? And you must embrace a positive attitude. You and I could be experiencing the same thing, but the way you react to that situation may be different from how I react to that. And that's something that I've taught people to help them excel and not take something so personally, but take some negative situations and turn them around and learn from them, grow from them. Don't let them hold you captive where you are. Embrace a growth mindset because growth is not accidental. You must be intentional about it. Set smart goals. You hear that every day. SMART, smart goals. And stick to it. You can change your plan, but don't change the goal. You have to stick with it and be consistent. Be consistent. Whether it's in your personal life or in your business, you are going to face challenges. You will. They're inevitable. But the attitude that with which you face those challenges have a lot to do with whether you will be successful at it. I also want to stress that being a leader doesn't mean that you are above your team members. You're not above them. You can learn from them too. And be the last one to speak. If you're in a meeting, don't be the first one to speak if you are a leader. Because what that does, when you are the last person to speak, you are giving your team members and others an opportunity to share their ideas without being influenced by what you had to say. When you speak first, you may not get the true essence of what they want to share because they may share something that aligned with what you said because they're now influenced by what you said. But when you sit back and you listen to what they say, then you can speak to that. You know where they're coming from. You are learning from them. Be the last to speak if you are a leader.
I love it. That's great advice. I needed that about 20, 15 years ago, for sure, because you're spot on how it influences everyone else depending on who the leader is. And people are scared or not even scared, timid, or don't know what to say or don't want to, get in trouble with the boss, depending on that energy and that frequency that, a lot of the times in corporations is not sometimes the best depending on where you go. Or should I say the one that I was involved in, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are involved with it. And so, as we move forward, I would love for us to be able to take a tour, into your back office. And we want to remind people that they can, join us from their cell phone, from their laptop, from their actual iPad. And if they have the VR headsets, and this is going to be a new wave of how you're able to showcase your business and your brand. And so, before we do go to your back office, if you could, tell us more about your business, from your book, your membership, from your consultation, anything that you want to share with the folks before we go into the back and continue these questions. Share away, ma'am.
Okay, so as a leadership and life coach, I help people get unstuck. I help you move from where you are to where you desire to be. So it's about awareness. And before I enter any coaching relationship, I give my client a DISC assessment, DISC. I am a DISC behavioral analyst because I want to know more about my prospective client. It's about awareness because that helps me to understand them better. It helps them to understand themselves better. Then we can move forward with the coaching relationship. So I assess personality. I help people identify their personality styles and their communication styles as well as the communication styles of others. I think it's an amazing thing if every organization, their employee directory reflects the personality style of each of their employees. This way, each employee knows how to interact with each other. It's about relationship again. So I work with executives to build strong teams. And the DISC behavioral assessment helps with self-awareness. It helps to resolve conflicts, minimize conflicts. It is used by Fortune 500 companies, government agencies around the world. Many people don't know what it is. So I'll say, well, have you heard of Myers-Briggs? That's a personality assessment tool as well. Well, I am a DISC expert. I can't tell you anything about how Myers-Briggs or something else work. I stay in my lane. I'm certified in DISC, and that's where my expertise lie. So as a business coach, I work with executives to coach them on how to work with their teams, personal growth, professional development, communication workshops. Because one of the myths I didn't share with you, where many people believe that communication has taken place when it actually has not. So I help organization with communication workshops, team building workshops, and coaching.
I
I
love it.
do one-on-one VIP coaching, and I have group coaching where I run that for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on the group. I do have a membership program where I have content on personal growth, professional growth. I have videos and different types of content. So audio content, digital written content, and video content so you can grow, move forward, squash limiting beliefs and doubts about yourself. You are amazing, and it's so much you have to offer, but you get unstuck, and that is where I come in to help you move to the other side of success. So I work
I
with
love it.
organizations as well as individuals. Yes.
I love it. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to your back office as we continue to share with people. They can get rid of that crusty, dusty Zoom. And now you can be able to have people come and join you in your back office. So Miss Merlin, let's come on back here to this back portal and let's take a ride to the portal, to your
There we go. And as we wait for everybody to transition over, this is the backspace of Miss Merlin's area here. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We will just go ahead and share that view. And so that way, at the end of the day, you guys get to see it too. As we make ourselves back over here, we're just waiting for everybody else to join us as we continue this amazing, amazing, amazing grand opening here.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
All
Loud and
right.
clear.
Perfect. There we go. So with that being said, people have to understand that, Miss Merlin, this allows you to be able to showcase your Zoom, your master classes, your webinars, your podcasts in a completely different way. Or even this screen right here that says Mac Leadership, you're going to be able to share that screen as you do on Zoom. People don't have to worry about being able to dress up, have to worry about, if their hair is together, if their makeup is together. They literally can jump in here with their avatar and be able to come in here just as they do a Zoom. And so with that being said, as we talk about, your leadership skills, talk to us about some of the strategies that you have with the Maxwell, learning, if you could share a little bit about that.
So being a Maxwell leadership coach, of course, you know who John Maxwell is. Has written more than 80 books in so many languages and has been doing this for years. He's known as a leadership guru. So I decided to get certified through his program. And I teach a lot of my programs from his books. Being a member, I have access to that platform. And I conduct mastermind classes from the books. For example, one of my favorite books is The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And I teach mastermind because, as I said, you can't grow professionally until you grow personally. So I teach a lot of mastermind classes, and I run them from 4 to 6 weeks or sometimes 10 weeks, depending on the group and what they desire. I customize my programs. I don't do cookie cutter. And another book that I work from is um, I just purchased one of his latest books, The 16 Invaluable Laws of Communication, because throughout the industry, communication is a problem. I read an article in Forbes where they say many organizations are experiencing a deterioration with communication. So that I will be promoting more communication workshops because I need to help people in that area. So the 16 invaluable laws of communication. And I want people to live their dreams. So I conduct coaching. I'm a coach certified through his program, one-on-one coaching, and work with organizations with their employees to conduct group coaching within the organization as well. A company can get together a group of 10 of their leaders and said, okay, we want group coaching for this group of managers. And I can do that as well. I conduct DISC workshops, and then I give the DISC assessment and the debriefing so that the members understand what their personality and communication styles are. And then I coach them on how to adjust their different styles for any given situation, because having one style doesn't mean that you're going to be using that style all the time. And that is where I come in to coach you on how to adjust your style. So those are some of the strategies that I use to help people grow professionally and personally.
Thank you. Those were helpful. I think the biggest thing that you share there is, being able to showcase and share that there's not just a cookie cutter size, that one size fits all, and there's not just like where, things as we lead others, there are different things that come up that require us to have different solutions in our toolkit to be able to address those, and having your guidance. I think the biggest thing that we find, Miss Merlin, is a lot of us have the answer or kind of know what we should be doing or how we should be doing something, but we second guess ourselves. And so then we don't take action, or we don't lead in the proper manner, or, be able to help or assist our team or other teams, because we're second guessing that, and we need that reassurance from someone like yourself who has so much experience under their belt and can see that and say, oh, hey, instead of doing that, maybe just kind of tweak it and try this on for size and see how that works, and that leads me into, what advice would you share with a small business that is looking to improve their leadership, but they just don't know how without, your services, and they're just a couple of tips that would be able to, make a big improvement that they could do on their own?
Well, first, I would encourage them to reach out to me for a discovery call. I give a complimentary discovery call to all prospective clients. But for right now, they must be willing to change. They must be willing to do what I call a leadership. Because the way leaders led decades ago, it's not the same today. We have to lead people and we need to meet people where they are. We need to embrace diversity. We need to be emotionally intelligent. We must embrace a learning mindset and be open to constructive feedback. Be proactive. Don't wait until something happens to seek help. Just like you ask people to take the DISC assessment to know their strengths and their weaknesses, I encourage every business owner to do a SWOT analysis. Identify your strengths, your weaknesses, and what opportunities are there for you to take advantage of to grow. Okay? You must be
I
willing
love it.
to do that.
That indeed, especially when we, talk about the SWOT analysis, that's something that we talk about all the time. And that takes us being willing to, really change and being able to accept, where we are and how we can change. And you're absolutely spot on. We remind people that what got us here won't get us there. And the old ways of doing business, the old ways of communicating and how we are able to engage and build our brand is becoming obsolete, and it's changing and shifting, especially as the average age of the world is 30 years old. And these youngsters, are experiencing things a lot differently than we used to, especially when we talk about, feelings and emotions and taking care of the employee. That is key because just 7, 8 years ago, you would have never heard me talk about, feelings and emotion and vibration and energy and all these things. And now it's just a must because I understand the importance of it, especially when you share with us, the communication, the lack of communication that we're all dealing with right now. And so, with that being said, and you being, one of our pivot members, one of our Biz in a Box clients, and now one of our newest Hello Plaza storefront openings in here in Metaverse, if you could share with the people, your experience with the Hello LLC, your Biz in a Box, our membership. What would you share with the people to make that change and to make that pivot as you did, going from the static website to now implementing all these systems and everything now that has put you well ahead of the curve of where everybody should be moving their business and pivoting it to?
Just like I said, you can't lead today the way you led decades ago. Today, we need to embrace change. For me, my experience with my Biz in the Box is amazing. My Biz in the Box is connected to my website. I still have my website. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to keep it, but the Biz in the Box is connected. And what David and Tara did, they connected my ClickSlow, where I host my membership site, where my members can go and sign up as a member. They worked hard at putting this together for me. And I'm just having fun with this new system of one click. You get in my Biz in the Box and you scroll down and it takes you where you need to be. It showcases all my programs. And now, as a member of the Metaverse, you can access the Metaverse right from my Biz in the Box as well. All you have to do is type https://merlinclark.com and it takes you to my Biz in the Box. And you access the Metaverse from there. So everything is connected. We are in a digital age because it's not just my courses. When I consulted with David, I confirmed with him that yes, I can not only sell digital products in the metaverse, but physical products as well in my storefront. So you have options. My podcast, that's something I'm going to be starting. So the sky's the limit. So experience the metaverse with me. Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And go ahead, love.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's I'm so incredibly proud of you, Miss Merlin, because you did take the leap. A lot of times we can want to do things, but actually pushing the button, as we share, and doing it is a whole different thing. And I think that you probably have found, after you did take the dive, to find out that it was fairly simple. It probably seemed daunting, but once we were able to, partner with you, and you handed your keys to your business with us so we could set up your systems and your solutions, as well as your metaverse, storefront, and your back office here that, can be your auditorium. It can be your personal Zoom meeting, where you meet people, your office where you meet people one on one. It really allows you a diversification of experience. I'm sorry, of an experience for your users, or clients. And this this will allow you to level up and show people that there's alternate ways of doing business, outside of just the traditional ways. And in the same verbiage that you used earlier, that we can't do what we did today that we did for decades. That's the same thing within our business systems, business strategies, and our solutions, because at the end of the day, what got us here won't get us there. And so it's so important for, you, and for others to understand that it's very simple to do this, if you, team up with the right people that know how to be able to guide you to do that. So over to you, Mr. Jones.
And one other thing, Miss Merlin, you said, your podcast. And when you share that, a lot of people are accustomed to going to Spotify or having their podcast on YouTube. And then you have to go through the search engine of going through Spotify, having people download the Spotify app, first of all, if they do that, which most people won't, and then they won't come listen to your podcast, where now you can tell people to go to your business box, click the link that brings them straight into your actual back office, to where now you can have your live podcast where you can come in here and do it live, or you could play the recording from your podcast and people can come and listen to it right in the metaverse. And it's easier than actually, going to download Spotify and all the rest of that stuff. And so this is the one question that we get all the time is, oh my God, is it hard for me to get into the metaverse? Hard is it going to be for my clients? With your experience, and you being, with us for quite some time, how easy was it for you to get into the metaverse? Because that's the number one thing that people are like, oh, I don't know if people are going to do this. How easy was it for you?
Well, my first experience with the metaverse was yesterday when you introduced me to it in preparation for today. Okay. And that was not difficult at all. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with that. And I am excited. I can't wait to start playing around here and doing my thing. It's like I feel like a kid who's just walked into a big candy store. I really do. I'm excited about this. And I hope and I believe my clients will feel the same way about it. And I just want to say I appreciate you and Tara for this experience. I really do.
Absolutely. And something that we share with people is that jumping into the metaverse, talking about the metaverse, you actually have to experience it. It's kind of like back in the 1930s, people were accustomed to just listening to radio. And then all of a sudden the television came along. And somebody that had just watched the television could not explain what the experience was to somebody that had just listened to the radio. And that is where we're at this particular point, which is why we encourage people to just press 4 buttons. Go to Miss Marilyn's Biz in a Box. Go to our Biz in a Box. You'll see a big round circle that says Hello Plaza or Merlin's, Mac Solutions Metaverse Store, and you hit that button. It'll take you to the App Store. You download the app, and boom, hit that button again in the Biz in the Box, and it brings you right into this location where, compared to a Zoom, you got to download the Zoom, you got to put in the right meeting ID. You have to have people email it to you because you don't have Zoom on your phone. And then it just becomes a whole cluster where this is just 4 clicks and you're in having your meeting where you don't have to worry about what you look like, anything of that sort from your cell phone, from your laptop, from your iPad, or the VR headsets. And so this is where we continue to share with people that this is the future. And you have 3 clicks to get people's attention. And the Zoom is outdated. And not only that, Zoom is trying to implement avatars. And you see, Microsoft implementing avatars. And so this is where we share with people, we're already in the metaverse. It's just transitioning from this flat 2D screen to now this 3D immersive environment where you can show up and create and do anything and everything that you want to do. And so, with that being said, Ms. Merlin, is there any last thoughts or anything that we didn't ask that you want us to ask that you want to address?
Yes, so one thing I did not share is in the storefront, you list my book because there's a section there where you list my book, Let It Go and Flourish. People can come there and purchase the digital copy of my book as well. And I will be publishing more books and I will be doing audiobooks. And those will be listed in my storefront and other digital products. So I'm excited about that. This is a one place, one-stop shop to come and get my products and services.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you will be able to do your book launches as well in the plaza or in your back room also and not have to go to Barnes and Noble or be at one particular location, which is why we share with people. This allows you now to go global, and we could even change the books into different languages and change our voices in here to different languages. So this is what allows us to really excel and build our business.
Fantastic.
Well, we greatly appreciate you, Miss Merlin, and everything that you are doing within, personal and professional arenas. The fact of that you are bringing leadership skill sets, not management skill sets, to the forefront is so needed. I think back to the time that I was thrusted into leadership as well. And all of the things that you spoke about just resonated so close to my heart because it was to what I experienced. And so it is, we all have an expertise within our life, and this is how we are able to share and improve our communities around us is by, you know, adding value and bringing those expertise to the forefront. And so we just greatly appreciate you, all that you're doing, your community, and we know that you being able to expand your business into the metaverse and Web3, that you are ahead of the curve. And I also want to share that it doesn't matter what your technical level, skill set level is, as long as you are partnered with the right team and community, you can be able to not get left behind as well, just like Miss Merlin did. So we greatly appreciate that, Miss Merlin. And Mr. Jones, I'll hand that mic over to you, my love.
Well, other than that, we just want to thank you all for joining us at the Hello Plaza for the amazing grand opening of Mac Leadership Solutions. It is officially open, so come and join us. Come and learn more about Miss Merlin Clark and definitely take advantage of all the goodies that she has. And more importantly, start investing in your leadership. Start investing into, anything and everything as we pivot. And Miss Merlin is definitely a great resource to be able to give you those tips and tricks. I sure wish I had known her back in my C-level days because I would definitely be signing up for bare minimum that $17 a month membership and going to get her book and then checking out those other programs for my business or even my team. Even if you are a leader and your organization isn't providing the right leadership, there's nothing wrong with you with providing that as well, because that helps you out at the end of the day, as Ms. Merlin talked about. What is it going to cost you? And so that's the important thing, that we have to be able to invest in ourselves and not look at the instant gratification or what is it going to get me now. It's for the long run, because that's what business is about. It's not about the short term. It's about the long term and being preventative in your business. And that is exactly what we do at the Hello LLC is we help companies be preventative. because you can do this and you can try to build your website. You can try to build all these things and put your systems and foundation together, but it's going to take you a whole lot longer. And what happens and what we find is that people quit before they can even get everything up and going because they can't figure it out. And that's where we share with people. We can show it, we can teach you, or we can do it for you. You pick, but press a button and let's get this party rocking and rolling, especially as times is changing and the future's already here. And so with that being said, you guys know the drill. Love,
Kindness,
integrity,
but most importantly,
commitment.
and consistency.
And until next time, toodles!
Toodles.